Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend and a good Monday in the stock market. We're going to talk about little SPY, some GameStop, some of the travel rallying today. Wish rallied. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. We have a Twitter you can follow us on at Happy Money YT. After last week's crazy kind of starting to sell off, market starting to crash. Bitcoin came down a bunch. That was our Discord, by the way. Links in the description. Crypto came down, dumped a lot over the weekend. Hedgies and whoever else using that as a piggy bank, probably going to keep pulling money out of that. I think we'll see a big sell-off in that as we continue to see the overall market come down. Today, though, nice little recovery, 1.3% up on the SPY, 40 minutes left. TA-wise on SPY, I mean, we've had these divergences. So this one might be a legit one right here on the RSI. Lower lows right here on the price action, higher lows on the RSI as well as the MACD a little bit, but you can see it better, a little easier to see on the daily. If you count the wicks, which I do on the RSIs, but maybe that's why I'm always wrong. Just playing. But yeah, we have the little divergence here too. So lower high, or lower lower than here, higher low, and starting to rally that from that. And I don't know. It looks, to me, on the SPY, it looks like it's probably going to keep going up. It broke through this kind of little short-term downward ceiling I put on it, the resistance line. And yeah, the only thing I'd say is it's kind of fighting that 460 range, so might be kind of double topping there. And then we'd see more consolidation or downwards move. I don't think it's like going to hit all-time highs again if it does rally, but maybe just a little consolidation for a couple days before it continues this downward trend. That being said, I mean, everything on the daily is still bearish. We do have that divergence, but still pretty bearish. Red under the 9 moving average, bearish MACD. And yeah, so we have bearish plays on SPY. I actually was opening up more today, and I'm like, wait a second, I should maybe get some bullish ones, because on the short term, I mean, this does look like it's ready for somewhat of a bounce reversal. But I started to open bearish ones, and I was like, I better stop, because that looks like we could have bullish in the next couple days. GameStop, it's looking like it actually found a floor here. That 159.12 might have been the low. And I mean, we had this same RSI divergence happen here on the hourly. Sometimes it'll just fight right through that, but looks like it's probably going to respect that. Bigger volume candles, bigger volume and bigger candles here on the hourly, more price action and being green, and kind of really starting to look like it's holding consolidation right at that kind of level. So we'll see. On the daily, I mean, had so much momentum coming down, pulling way far away from that 9. So as this kind of flattens out, that 9 moving average will come down, or this will go up and they'll kind of meet somewhere in this area. I think max pain this week's still like 195. But we haven't hit max pain. It's been a couple weeks now. We've just not really closed at max pain. So kind of a weird spot to find support. And we saw it back here at the bottom of these candlesticks, 166. And then you have a couple little 160s in here. We'll see if it holds up here just for a couple days, and then it starts to kind of maybe break this 163. And I'd say the MACD turning bearish on this hourly, because right now we got, we're bullish on the MACD on the hourly. This green candle didn't open and close over the 9, but we still have kind of a little bull flag forming here with this big green, and then some smaller consolidation candles moving to the right, and then of course this divergence. So it could be flattening out. We kind of just need to wait and see. Nice to see it consolidating some at least, and then we'll see. I mean, if it does, like I said, if it does start to come down, it might be earnings, honestly. We might consolidate into earnings, and then the last little sell-off after earnings, or news. I mean, news will change any of this. The TA on it, actually, the TA won't matter if we get news. But yeah, TA wise, if it does sell off from earnings, we might be coming back to this 145 is probably, I would say probably the last support. Probably more like 150, this one right here, but 145 I think would probably be the lowest. And that would keep us making higher lows. But if we don't, and we break through that, yeah, I guess the next one's 136. and then 115, and then I'm calling Volkswagen dip for sure. And yeah, I'm trying to close out some positions, trying to kind of build a capital, build some cash, and you kind of get that on these little relief rallies like we got today, where you can get a little bit back in the green, or maybe not quite as bad of losses to just basically sell, because you've been given a gift, this picture that a lot of volume, a lot of red on the overall market's coming down, market's beginning its descent, and yeah, don't have too many chances. You're gonna have some big days probably coming up. But yeah, I was I was thinking about it, and we were talking on Discord about just how GameStop's squeezing and kind of what the overall market and environment will be like. And I want to re-mention kind of what I was saying on there is the market. I think when GameStop is like actually squeezing, we're not in just one of these pinches, you know, where they're manipulating it and having to roll their futures, you know, cycle, or their options or ETF rollovers, whatever the cycles that they're stuck in that makes it do this, where they just reshort it back down. This, they're controlling it. So when we're actually squeezing it, it's uncontrollable, where they are forced. They say, you know, you have to close this position, and to do that you have to buy whatever 50 million shares of GameStop market price, 100 million shares of GameStop, however many are being bought. When it's forced, that's when it's going to be an actual squeeze, and it's going to be insane. And when that's happening, it will probably be at a time, I mean, it might start slow, but it might not, and that's so it'll be happening at a time like this, like 2008 crash. This was literally when the Volkswagen squeeze happened. We had a crazy sell-off first in the whole market, scarce. It was all about housing, but the Volkswagen squeeze actually started like right here in the midst of it. So Volkswagen had the huge dip before the rip, and this might be it, but I don't know. I mean, GameStop could keep coming down, just because if the whole market's selling off 5, 10, 15% in a week, then there's going to be enough selling pressure to probably bring GameStop down enough until that threshold is met where they have to close their short position. So, and then we'll see a crazy inverse. Everyone will be so happy, negative beta, and then we'll have the squeeze. But I mean, the market and the world and what's going on, it could be a crazy event going on outside of GameStop and a short squeeze. I'm somewhat expecting it. If it actually is short squeezing. If it's not short squeezing, then, and it's just everyone's watching GameStop go up to $400 a share and then come back down, it's not a short squeeze. That's a pinch. That's a rollover. That's whatever they've been doing for years on this stock and other stocks. I predict it'll be many stocks moving when GameStop is being short squeezed. Maybe most of them will have short squeezed by then, that we're kind of in this basket. But I think there'll just be so much market volatility. Stuff will be selling off. Things will be going bankrupt. But news around the whole world, and I think there's going to be other catalysts and other crazy things basically happening to make headlines that will not deter, but keep eyes and focus off of this one stock that's going to $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 a share. Like, that will be insane. But I think it will be in the midst of a much more volatile environment, and yeah. So that's kind of, I mean, not to say I'm waiting for that. I hope nothing bad happens, but it probably will be something very, very bad, unfortunately. And I think we'll see it also with the stock market, of course. So it might just be a stock market crash like we had in 2008, or COVID crash, or 2001 .com bubble, maybe a Great Depression, which is awful, but it might be, might be a lot worse. And so yeah, for it to fully squeeze, it might be during an event that is just historic outside of GameStop. So you think back to 2008, you don't think about German auto manufacturer going to becoming the biggest company in the world. You think about, the housing market crash and the stock market crash, and no one's even talking about Volkswagen. Who cares? So I think GameStop, it'll probably be in a similar environment to that. And I mean, we've seen even GameStop might be the catalyst. we'll see. I mean, once it gets at a certain price, we've definitely seen it become the catalyst to suck out liquidity from the rest of the market, because this going up made this go down. And so it could be kind of a catalyst to start that. But all that being said, because we were talking about trying to time it and all, like, oh, if you're buying shares here, buying them there. I'm wondering if during the squeeze, I've been playing it as momentum, and I think it's still, I still feel like it probably will be indicators showing, you know, bullish momentum. But potentially the bullish momentum will just be pointing out a pinch like this. I'm not sure. I don't know. But if you remember back here, I remember here, this was crazy. There was bullish momentum, but it's on such a short time frame, and then it just gapped. So when the short squeeze starts, if one of the bigger players just decides to end it, basically, either they decide to or they're liquidated and it's just quick. I don't know how it's going to work, but I know with Volkswagen, it closed on a Friday. It had dropped like 40 or 50% in the last couple days, and then it opened the next Monday. I think it was up maybe 100%. So if you look back here, I remember I went long back here on GameStop in February, because just on the hourly, I was like, wait, I checked my indicators, it was all bullish. I was like, great, I'll just go long, whatever, who knows? And then it literally just gapped up. So that kind of thing, you're not going to be able to necessarily catch trying to buy shares. And that's a big reason why I honestly hold shares, is because potentially, and a good strategy for them, in my opinion, would be to gap it up pre-market. They easily could do it. If this is all manipulated to the bid and the ask and the spread, there's not many limit orders out there that they would quickly fill up, and they would just gap it, and you'd get to people that are holding shares and don't have orders to sell, and then you could have an event where pre-market this thing's at $1,000 a share. And what that would do is that would really pull back a lot of the buying pressure that would naturally come in if retail institutions, whoever, saw a 20-30% day on GameStop, big volume, back to back 3, 4, 5 days a week, to where then it's at $1,000 a share. If they're able to, and I think they would be able to, since the float, I think, is fully locked up more than 2 or 3 times over by retail, I think they could easily gap it up. And if it opened at $1,000 a share, you're not going to get a bunch of retail buying pressure up there, even though you can do partial shares in this. But then it would literally just be rising price action from closing shorts. And of course, you'd have to have some people selling for them to be able to buy it to close those shorts. So hopefully all the TA works, and hopefully it's momentum, and we can kind of time it and play the options, whatever. Shares will definitely be the safest. My options I will be selling out first, because they are going to probably get screwed the easiest, the quickest, the most, the earliest, the soonest. The shares, though, I'll be selling very slowly, one at a time, if I'm able to, and it will be at a price where one share is a lot. So yeah, kind of had the conversation on Discord a little bit and wanted to share on the video. So if it does just gap up crazy, and that also makes me want exposure all the time on GameStop in case it is something like that. I want a couple, just naked long calls. If it's a 400 strike or whatever, maybe it'll be $500 in the money on that Monday where it opens up, or that Tuesday where it opens up super high. And maybe I'm wrong on this. You can correct me in the comments if you think, oh, that's impossible for it to do that. It seems like it could, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just physically impossible. Anyways, let's go over some of the options we have right now. That being said, this looks nice on the hourly. Yeah, bullish MACD, that divergence. Looks like it's building a floor. If I were getting shares, I would scale in here some for sure. My last scale in price, I think, was this 180. Yeah, right here. I was like, oh, I'll scale in some here. I would definitely take in probably more here than I did there. I'd keep upping the amount I bought as it came down. And I wouldn't go all in though. I mean, for sure go all in, but I would scale some in here and then just kind of see the next couple days. I don't think it's going to just rip up to 200 tomorrow. So I think you'll have some time if it looks like it's fully reversed, where it'll be 175, 180, 185, and you can say, okay, that was a floor. Let's buy in some more up here. But if it kind of stays flat, then you're kind of waiting to see, what range it's in. And then if it kind of breaks this support down here, 163, 159, then I would wait, and see where the next support's going to hit. It might be that 145 area. But yeah, So I had some cover calls today on it. I hate cover calls on GameStop. SPY, I opened up this bearish play, and I did these cover calls on GameStop as well. Sold short, yep, those were awful. So, oh, I actually got out of some of my calls on GameStop. Those were just weekend insurance, basically. Yeah, just in case there's news over the weekend. Again, we have a crazy gap up. This put credit spread, I'm keeping this 175, 177.5. That's for Friday. We'll see if we get just a little bit of a green day, 2-3%. This will probably be profitable. I might close it. TA shows me that it's not fully reversed and it's just a good day. Then I'll probably close it. Still looking bullish. I'll maybe hold it. And then we have this higher strike one, 207.5, 217.5. Put credit spread. No calls right now. I'm waiting for momentum to shift. And yeah, I'd rather be late than wrong with buying long calls. So pay a little premium, but I'm not going to sit there with, days and days and weeks of time decay if it's just flat, and especially if it goes down. That being said, the premiums are wild. Coming into earnings, they're just going up. It's so weird. I sold a covered call, stock went down, that covered call gained value. So, it's difficult not to lose money buying it back. Tesla options we have here, they're doing well. Bearish. Tesla had a rebound, but I think it's definitely going to come down. I want to get some just naked puts on it. That being said, we do have bullish on the indicators. Green MACD, green over the 9, but it's just because it was so oversold, I think. On the daily, yeah, it's still bearish. I mean, it's retracted pretty far from that 9 moving average, so we'll see on that. Travel stocks rallying today, I guess because COVID isn't a problem, so they like to go up. Our Wish shares up 11%, PaySafe up 5%. So all these kind of, I guess, all these type of stocks all rallying the same day. TCAT, I want to actually close out of maybe a few of these just for this market crash, even though these are all probably as cheap as I'll be able to get them, just to pull some capital out. Birds had a big correction today, but I think it's really just consolidation. It's just moving in a big range, because it's still in this kind of upward path. Yeah, I mean, if you look on the daily, it's bullish MACD, it's big green, and it's just consolidated back to that 9, so it's just kind of grinding up. I mean, it had to settle down some from that shorter term RSI being super high. This is kind of looking like a head and shoulders though, so we'll see. Maybe come down a little bit more, or not. I'm not sure on that one, but longer term it still looks good. I will wait on that one. If news comes out again on GameStop, it's gonna be TA is gonna be thrown out. It's gonna go crazy. Or I think if someone gets liquidated, or someone decides to be the first one and says we're closing our short position, then it could just gap. Thanks for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We'll see you on Discord.